Guys, I'm standing in the back of my 2025 GulfShore 26. This boat is just a few days old, and this boat's kind of the culmination of, this would be my fourth GulfShore 26, so the culmination of a lot of different things for me. We put a lot of thought and made a couple of little adjustments. From the surface, you'll see that it's set up pretty similar to everything else. I did go with one large well in the transom, really more so just in case, like if we're fishing redfish tournaments and stuff, I have the ability to keep, a pair of nice redfish alive. With those two smaller wells, that was a bit of an issue sometimes. Moving down to the floor, we've got this is really a young 27 bilge hatch, but it just gives us so much room. So the bilge actually is a really clean layout with a lot of stuff going on in here. We put a cup in the bottom of the bilge so I can take a Yeti bucket and hold it right there. Super handy, being able to have a trash bucket that's in a box, right? To where if I just had it sitting in the corner, the bucket wouldn't blow out, but if I had a water bottle in it or something like that, the wind can blow stuff out as the day goes on, especially as it gets more full. That's a really convenient place. I can also put a cast net in that bucket, just a great spot to have stuff out of the way. I've got my 4 pumps, 2 pumps going into my rear well, 2 pumps going into my floor well, so that God forbid something happen, I have a pump go down, I've always got a backup pump to keep my bait alive with. Like we talked about, moving forward to that 60-gallon well, it goes all the way up underneath here. It almost goes all the way up underneath these seats. It does have a macerator pump in the bottom, just so I can pump it out. I can use it as dry storage. I can valve off both of my pumps and both of my drains, pump this thing down, and I can use it as dry storage or as a second fish box if I wanted to. All the walls of that well are insulated. Going up here to the seats, of course, we've got the flip down bolsters. These seats are very comfortable, keep you out of the wind. If we are running in the rain or in rough conditions, you're not gonna get any spray back here. And it's just a really great place for people to kind of be able to sit. It's great to be able to see forward, but at the same time, like I fish so much in the winter time that I want to be able to have a spot where people can sit where they're out of the wind. That's kind of a big thing. If you can keep your customers warm and dry, you can extend the day a lot of times if it's rough conditions. Another new thing that we did with this boat, and it's something that we've really been working on with Young, is I've got a Simrad NSS 16 in the back of my leaning post. When I'm catching bait or I'm grouper fishing or I'm tarpon fishing, having the ability to be in the back floor of the boat, see what's happening below my boat. Right now you can see we're marking a whole pile of catfish here at the dock, but having my side scan and my down scan, of course I can pull up my chart. Anything that I can see on my main Simrads, it's all connected through a NEMA network. I'm looking at it right here. And that's really, really convenient. And like I said, catching bait, tarpon fishing, and grouper fishing, those are like my 3 main things that I wanted that for. And it's worth its weight in gold. As we get up here to the Helm Station, we have a nice elevated helm, just like the rest of them in this, that we've had in all the other boats. The floor in this boat is actually raised up a few inches, and the pod height is still the same, so it does make for a shorter step going from the deck up to the pod. I'm super happy with that. That being said, we've got a pair of Simrad 12-inch screens, and of course these are the NSS series as well. We've got our zip weight controller, power pole remote charging station, and our fusion head unit, and our Suzuki gauge right here. I like my key down on the side. Some people like it up on the dash. If you want it up on the dash, we can definitely put it up on the dash. These PPI seats have kind of a contoured backrest for when you're standing here behind the leaning post, so that when you lean into it, you're kind of in a little groove, and that's pretty handy. Of course, as well, you can flip them down, and you can sit right there behind the wheel. Great armrests. They do a really good job. All the stainless accents and everything. I'm very happy with that. Below the seats, we have our tackle storage drawers. These are a little different than what you may be used to seeing on the boat. We actually have 2 narrow drawers, and then we have a flip down box right here. And the reason for that is we've got that Simrad in the back. We needed a way to access it. So when we pull this flip down little hatch out, we can actually take that out. We can access the back of the Simrad, and it gives us plenty of room to work on anything back there should we need to. We still have quite a bit of storage here, as well as, still having that ability to access that unit. It's just something we had to do a little different, but Young did a really good job at utilizing the space that we had. So below your feet in the pod, you'll see that we have a pull-out. This is just another little thing that we can do with Young. It adds some additional storage, and then of course, just like we're all used to seeing in all the rest of the boats, we've got all of our batteries, we've got all of our pumps, we've got all of our rigging in a great waterproof location. But I'm definitely really happy to have this pull out, having the ability to just put small little things underneath my feet, or maybe even bigger things. I can put my chum bat in there, I can put my dip net for my live well in there should I need to keep a spare. Items that are a little too big to go in the drawers, under the seats, or under this seat, I can just throw them down in here. It's kind of a good little catch-all, if that makes sense. One thing we did on this boat that we really wanted to kind of work with the aesthetic look, right? So we did a Nardo helm box, and then we sent the Nardo gel coat to Frigid Rigid. So our cooler and our helm box are both gel coat matched to the outside of the boat. The last few boats I've had have all been black. I did this one gray with a black hull bottom, and it is black gel coat as well as black bottom paint on the hull bottom, but it's really just a convenient location to have all your stuff. I mean, I could put 4 cases of water in this cooler if I want to. Lord knows we go through a lot of water on my boat. I mean, with no shade, we're drinking some water, you know, but it just makes for a really easy, great spot. I can have 3 people sit up here if I need to. You know, it gets a little tight with 3, but I can do it. As well as, you know, it's a really comfortable seat for 2 people. Up on the front deck, we have our young gel coat ruler. This one we had enough room for 42 inches. That's kind of a customizable thing, right? Like, we've had guys put them on the floor and they've got a 55-inch ruler. I'm not really sure necessarily what you're gonna be measuring that's 55 inches, but 42 is enough for me. You know, that'll measure a big snook, a big cobia, a big redfish, and then your first box is gonna be your fish box. The next box is gonna be a full-length storage box, side to side. So it's a painted box, it's painted to match the outside of the hull, and then, of course, it does have a drain. It makes it really easy to put a lot of stuff in one spot, and I'm not limited by just maybe the same size tub as what I have in my fish box. I've got a lot of room in there, and that's kind of convenient. All the way up on the bow, we have the anchor locker, and of course, we're running a power pole move trolling motor. That's been like maybe one of the most convenient things that I've seen in a long time is having your trolling motor and your power poles on the same remote. It's a great unit. We've had almost no issues out of them. No other trolling motor has allowed me to catch fish closer to the boat with the trolling motor running. It is a very quiet motor, and I'm very happy with it.